Anime with overpowered main characters are very popular nowadays, that's why I will discuss some of the best underrated anime with overpowered main characters. Number 1. Maoyu Archenemy and Hero. In this anime, humans and demons have been at war for thousands of years, because it has caused a lot of destruction in the human world, and also in the demon world. But at this moment, the humans had an extremely powerful hero. He was able to enter the Demon King's castle, and he was going to kill the Demon King to end this war. But it turns out that the Demon King is a very beautiful woman. She also asked the hero to cooperate with her. At first the hero didn't want to do it, and wanted to kill the Demon King anyway. But after they talked, it turned out that the Demon King had a very good attitude. He also wanted to end this war. That's why he asked the heroes to cooperate with him to save the world. Thus they now embark on their adventure to save the world, and this is the first time a demon lord and a hero have teamed up. Number 2. Trinity 7. One day a black sun appeared, and made many humans disappear. The whole world became very chaotic. But a man named Arata was unaware of that incident. Arata lives a normal life with his cousin Hijiri, but one day Arata notices that the sun has turned black. He also realizes that Hijiri is acting strange. It turns out that Hijiri has disappeared, and Arata accidentally creates an illusion that allows Hijiri to come back to life. Then a girl named Asami Lilith said that Arata had used magic to create the illusion. Because Arata cannot accept that this world has been destroyed. Then Lilith takes Arata to a magic academy called Aritsa Bibliagakuin, because Arata has the potential to become a magic king. At the academy there are also 7 very great wizards named Trinity Seven. That's why Arata must also be able to conquer them, so he can maximize the potential of his magic power. Number 3. To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts. This anime tells about the war between the South against the North. The South has a very strong military force, and they also have more soldiers. Because the North country used forbidden technology to create a group of superhumans, and they possessed the power of wild beasts, this group of superhumans were called incarnations. They were able to defeat all enemy soldiers easily. Because of that everyone became afraid of them. But a few months later some of the incarnations couldn't control their powers, and they attacked random people. Because of that, after the war took place, the incarnation group was disbanded, but it turned out that many of the incarnations became criminals and attacked the population. Because of that their leader named Hank is trying to save all the incarnations. Number 4. 11 Eyes. A man named Kakeru at first has a normal life. He always goes out with his friend Yuka, because they are friends since childhood. But one day when they came home from school, suddenly, the sky turned red, everyone in that place disappeared, even the moon turned black, only Kakeru and Yuka were in that place. But suddenly everything returns to normal. They have experienced this incident several times, and suddenly they are attacked by a mysterious monster. They call themselves the Black Knights. It turns out that this all has something to do with the special eyes that Kakeru has. And he also has very strong strength. Number 5. Btooom. This anime tells the story of a man named Sakamoto Ryuta. He is unemployed, and really likes playing games. He even becomes one of the strongest players in an online game. The game is called Btooom. It is a battle royale game, where they have to defeat their opponents using bombs, which are usually called BIM. He even often fell asleep while playing games. Suddenly he woke up on an island. There was even a crystal in his hand. Then there were some people who wanted to kill him using a bomb. He finally realized that everything that happened in that place was similar to a tomb, and it turned out that many people had the same fate as Ryuta, and now they are fighting in a battle royale, so they can survive the island. In this anime, Ryuta will show some genius tactics, which proves he is one of the strongest Btooom players in the world. Number 6. The Severing Crime Edge. This anime tells the story of a student named Himura. He looks like an ordinary student, but he has a strange habit, namely he likes to cut women's hair. One day he hears a rumor about a ghost who has very beautiful hair, so Himura goes to cut the ghost's hair. But it turns out that there was only a beautiful girl with very long hair. That girl named Iwaz. Even Himura fell in love with her. It turns out that Iwaz is under a curse that makes her hair unable to be cut, and it has been going on for generations. Then he also met some strange people who were targeting Iwaz. After being traced, it turns out that the only thing that can cut Iwa's hair is the scissors that belong to the Himura family, and finally he manages to remove Iwa's curse. But after Iwa's curse disappeared, many people wanted to kill her, so Himura used his cursed scissors to help Iwaz. Number 7. I've somehow gotten stronger when I improved my farm-related skills. A man named Wayne wants to be a great farmer, because he really likes all things related to agriculture. Because of that, he also trains seriously to improve his strength. But it turns out that he has become too strong. In fact, he was able to defeat a legendary dragon using only a carrot. Even though it takes a lot of nights to defeat the dragon. Even when the demons came to attack, Wayne was able to defeat the demons using only a hoe. Even though he has become very strong, Wayne wants to hide his strength, because he has no interest in becoming a knight, and he only wants to be a farmer in his village. Number 8. The Dawn of the Witch. This anime is set in a world with magical energy, but it turns out that in ancient times there was a war between the church and witches. Even that war lasted for 5 centuries, because of that there was a lot of world history that disappeared. This anime focuses on a student from a magic school named Sable. He has lost his memory due to an unknown event, and he also doesn't remember about her magic power. Because of that, the headmaster told Sable to go to the edge of the continent, in order to help him restore his memory. Sable and her partner Rue Christas are going on a trip. Besides Rue, Sable is also accompanied by Holtz and also Cud. The 4 of them try to uncover the history of the world that has been lost. There they also slowly found out that Sable had very strong strength. Number 9. Granbelm. This anime tells the story of a girl named Mangetsu. At first she had a normal life, but one day she saw the moon had a strange shape, and also the atmosphere at her school turned strange. And suddenly there were many robots fighting nearby. Mangetsu was very shocked to see everything that was happening. There were even some robots that tried to kill him. Luckily there was a woman named Shingetsu helping Mangetsu. Shingetsu tells Mangetsu that this is a world of magic. They are magicians who control Armanox, a robot controlled by the hearts of wizards. Mangetsu was very surprised when he found out that he was already in another world. Suddenly a robot attacks them. Because he saw that Mangetsu was almost defeated, suddenly Mangetsu raised his robot. It has very strong power. He is able to defeat the enemy easily. Number 10. Assault Lily, Bouquet. 50 years ago, there was a group of monsters called Huge appeared. They attacked many humans. Because of that there was a group of people whose task was to defeat the monsters. They were called Lily. This anime tells the story of a girl named Riri. She managed to enter the best Lily Academy in the world, because she wanted to beat all the hugs in the world. At first, Riri was bullied because she looked weak. But when the lesson started, Riri accidentally met a very strong Huge. Riri and her friends were almost killed by that Huge. Suddenly Riri awakened her strength, and they managed to beat that Huge. Since then, Riri's journey to defeat all the Huge begins. Number 11. Chaika the Coffin Princess. This anime tells the story of a man named Toku Akira. He is a young man who lives in a village. One day he meets a girl named Chaika. She carries a coffin. It turns out that the chest is a magic equipment, because it turns out that Chaika is a witch. Suddenly a monster attacks them, but Akira is able to defeat the monster easily. Chaika was very surprised to see Akira, who was very strong. Even though Akira was not a magician, it turned out that Akira was a former special soldier. Because of that he was very strong. Because of that Chaika paid Akira to do a secret mission with her. After that Chaika and Akira adventurers started. Number 12. Katanagatari. This anime is set in the Japanese Imperial era, where many samurai, ninjas, and swordsmen often fight to prove their strength. At that time there were also swords called the 12 Shikizaki swords. It was a legendary sword that possessed special power, and could easily kill many people, therefore there were many people who wanted that sword. This anime tells the story of a girl named Togame. She is the main strategist general of the Shogun Empire. She is assigned to collect all Shikazaki swords in order to create world peace. Because of that, Togame asks the Kyotoriya family for help, because they are one of the strongest swordsman families in the world, but it turns out that the heir of the family is only a man named Shichike Yajuri. And it turns out that even though he is a swordsman, it turns out that he only fights using his bare hands. This makes him very difficult to beat. Number 13, Dog Days. This anime tells the story of a student named Izumi. He really likes sports, especially acrobatics. He even aspires to become a world champion. Because of that, he practices every day. But one day Izumi suddenly moved to another world. In that world lived a half-beast human, and Izumi was chosen to be a hero to save a kingdom that was at war. A princess of the Biscotti kingdom named Firiana was the one who summoned Izumi. She also explained everything that happened in her kingdom. It turns out that the war in this world uses the acrobatics method. Because of that, Izumi was chosen to be the hero of that world, and also Izumi is very happy to know that, because she can use her powers. Number 14. AntiMagic Academy 35th Test Platoon. This anime is set in a world full of magical energy, but many witches like to do evil, and their existence is a threat to the world. Because of that, a group of people were formed who fought against evil wizards. They were usually called inquisitors, and they became a threat to evil magicians. Before becoming an inquisitor, students must study at the AntiMagic Academy. This anime focuses on a student named Takeru. He is in the weakest group in the school, namely the 35th squad. This is a squad filled with failures and losers. Because of that, a woman named Uka Owatori was assigned to help them, but she was very surprised when she found out that Takeru had very strong strength, but he hid his strength. Number 15. Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaina. This anime tells the story of a girl named Elaina. She dreams of becoming a wandering witch, because since she was little she likes to read books about the adventures of witches. After training very hard, Elaina managed to become a witch. Even she became the youngest witch, but many people underestimate her, because she is still very young. While Elaina needs a mentor, so she can become a wandering witch. Fortunately, there is a witch named Flan who trains Elaina. But at first Elaina was only a maid at Flan's house. After 1 month, Flan finally wanted to train Elaina. It turns out that Elaina has enormous potential. After a year of training, Elaina had become a very powerful witch. Because of that, she started her adventure as a wandering witch. Number 16. Invaders of the Rokujyoma. A student named Kotaro Satomi finally decides to live alone, because his father works out of town. Because of that, he rented a very cheap boarding house, so he could live frugally, and also he took a part-time job. At first he lived a normal life, but suddenly his room became strange, because many mysterious events appeared in his room. It seems that ghosts, aliens, witches, underworld creatures, etc. appear. Because of that, Satomi has to fight against them, so she can save her home. Since then, Satomi's life has changed, where she has to fight against many strange creatures in her room every day. Number 17. Assassin's Pride. In this anime, there are only a few nobles who can use mana. Because of that, they become very special, because they can use stronger powers compared to ordinary humans. This anime focuses on a girl named Mulida Angel, who is a girl from the House of Angel. It is one of the 3 great aristocratic houses where many powerful nobles reside in that place. But Mulida can't use mana. Because of that, many people underestimate her. Even many people doubt Mulida's status. Because of that, an assassin named Kufa was sent to train Mulida. And if it turns out that Mulida has no talent, then Kufa will kill Mulida. But there were incidents that made Kufa abandon his mission, and he chose to protect Mulida. Number 18. Alderamin on the Sky. This anime tells the story of a lazy man named Ikta Salork. He has a hobby of sleeping. One day he is forced to join the military training of the Katjarna kingdom. He went with his friends, but while on the way, the ship they were on sank, so they were forced to land on an island. Ikta also accidentally saves a girl. It turns out she is the princess of the Katjarna kingdom. They were therefore forced to bring the princess back to the Katjarna kingdom, but they were now in enemy territory. Then Ikta led them all to escape to the kingdom of Katjarna. Ikta used a unique strategy, and they managed to escape. Because he managed to save the princess of the Katjarna kingdom, Ikta was forced to become an elite soldier in the Katjarna kingdom. And this is the beginning of the story of a lazy general who will rule the world. Number 19. Miss Kuroitsu from the Monster Development Department. In this world, monsters and heroes are always fighting, because they have their own goals, therefore they also have to increase their strength to protect their territory. This anime focuses on a woman named Kuroitsu Tuka. She is a researcher whose job is to create monsters. She also modifies many monsters to create the strongest monsters. And this is Tuka's story of creating an overpowered monster that can destroy the world. Not even a hero can beat it. Number 20. Gargantia on the Verdurous planet. This anime is set in the future. At that time humans have lived on various planets, because they were able to explore the galaxy, and also knowledge in that era was very advanced. But humans could not live quietly in those days, because there is a creature named Hydos who threatens humanity. Because of that there is a group of warriors whose task is to defeat Hydos. This anime tells the story of a lieutenant named Leto. He gets a special mission to destroy Hydos' secret base. He goes with his AI robot chamber. But it turned out that the mission was failed, because Hydos was too strong. Because of that he ran away, but he lost control and experienced a time distortion. Then he wakes up. It turns out that Leto is on an alien planet, and civilization on that planet is very backward. And this is Leto's new life on an abandoned planet. Thanks for watching this video.